things that is going on in Nigeria, it is very, very shocking. The news, breaking news. They say breaking news, according to the news that is reaching us. Breaking news: Tinubu splash $9 million on U.S. lobbying firm to counter IPOB and convince Trump no Christian genocide in Nigeria. What kind of a government are we even having? What kind of country are we even staying or living? Imagine such kind of money Nigerian government splash on US lobby for them to convince Donald Trump that there is nothing like genocide, and that also to redesign IPOB as a terrorist group around the world. Is a very big shame to this government, a very big shame to Nigeria. How come? How can? So sometimes people will be asking, how do we get here? How do we get to this point? To the extent that each government that comes in, his mind will be how to unleash mayhem on his citizens, how to unleash problem, how to cause more problem, more evil on his citizens. How come your citizen will be buying every day, terrorists everywhere, kidnapping everywhere, and the US government have risen up to make sure that those terrorists, in fact, all of them run away. The next thing you do, you keep robbing the US ministers for them to tell Donald Trump that every report IPOB is giving, every report that is coming from Nigeria, all of them is fake. Imagine such kind of a country. In fact, you will hear everything directly from this our different activist who explain the whole thing the way it is. Don't skip any part of it. Try to watch to the end for you to understand everything going on in this video, because the country we are living is a very big shame to the nation. As about to watch, like, subscribe, and make sure you like the video and share the video also to reach everywhere.
News has it that this man is trying to pay, or you say to lobby this man to disregard anything that this man is doing or saying against him. What do I mean? That the government of this man is trying to pay the government of this man to disregard anything or have a close ear to anything that the government of this man is doing or saying. No me talk am, na so news take carry am. Of course, I'm going to show you what I mean, or the evidences on the screen so you see it. Now, if this is your first time coming across my channel or my video, thank you, and please do well to subscribe, because on this channel we bring the information of everything that is happening in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. And for my subscribers, just know that I love you from the bottom of my heart. Now let's go down to the news properly. Remember, as I said, that today is the 14th day of January 2026. And this news is just a major breaking news. Now, as you can see, it says, okay, let's start from here. Breaking: Tinubu splashes $9 million on US lobbying firm to counter IPOB and convince Trump no Christian genocide in Nigeria. That Tinubu's government has paid the sum of $9 million to a lobbying firm in US so that they can convince Trump that what IPOB is doing or saying, or that there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. $9 million. Have that at the back of your mind. Now let's go, into details and see who they pay this money, how they pay it, and how IPOB has to do with this story. Now, let's go. The federal government has hired a lobbying firm in a $9 million contract to counter IPOB and to assist in communicating its actions on protecting Christians in Nigeria to the United States government. It went on to say, according to the lobbying contract document filed with the U.S. Department of Justice, Asta Legal, a law firm in Kaduna State, hired the service of DCI Group on behalf of Nura Ribadu, the National Security Advisor. DCI Group is a US-based public affairs and lobbying firm. What is he talking about? That the National Security Advisor has paid this group, the DCI Group, for this work. And this DCI Group is a lobbying firm in the United States. Now, let's see what they tell this group to do for them. It went on to say, the agreement was signed by Onyetunji Olaleko Esli, the managing partner of Ashta Legal, and Justin Peterson, managing member of DCI Group, on December 17, 2025. This agreement was signed by Onyetunji, who is the managing partner of Ashta Legal, and it was signed with Justin Peterson, who is the managing member of the DCI Group. So this agreement was signed on December 17th, 2025. Now, according to the contract details, the American lobbying firm is expected to assist the Nigerian government through Ashta Legal in communicating its actions to protect Nigerian Christian communities and maintaining US support in countering West African jihadist groups and other destabilizing elements. Now, if you remember that Trump earlier designated Nigeria as a country of particular concern, and Trump said that he's going to send his military to come to Nigeria to help Christians. Now, what the Nigerian government is actually doing is to pay this group, this DCI Group, to pay them to go and lobby with the American government to tell Trump not to come to Nigeria, and also request for support from US. Support could be sending military to Nigeria or sending ammunition, weapons to Nigeria, so that the Nigerian army can use it to do the war themselves. You get it? Now let's see. It went on to say, it was agreed that the contract would be for 6 months until June 30th, 2026, and will automatically renew for another 6 months. Now, 6 months. Now, the contract includes a clause that stipulates that any party in the case can terminate the agreement for any reason without penalty by providing 60 days advance written notice of termination to the other party. That this agreement can be terminated by any of the group, neither Nigerian government or the lobbying firm, the DCI Group. But before you terminate it, you have to write a note to the other party, and that note has to be within 60 days. That is what it means. Now, let's go on to the other part. Now, you may be wondering, how is IPOB involved in this? Don't worry, I'm going to show you where the Nigerian government mentioned IPOB and what they say that IPOB did in this case. So please stay with me. Let's read down this. It says, on December 12th, Nigeria paid the American lobbying firm the sum of $4.5 million as a 6 months retainer prepayment for the contract. They have paid half of the payment. Client shall pay consultant a monthly retainer $750,000. $750,000. Being fully payment of professional fees and expenses covered under this agreement. The monthly payment shall be made into 2 6 months installments of $4,500,000. $4.5 million. One due upon execution of this agreement, and the other upon expiration of 6 months from the effective date. The fee and expenses section of the contract reads. Now let's look at how the payment and everything is going to be, or how they have paid the money, and how IPOB is involved in this. The federal government hired the American lobbying firm amid the interest of the US government in reports of killings of Christians in Nigeria. The reason why the Nigerian government is doing this lobbying is because of the killings that Trump has reported. Trump has earlier said that Christians are being killed in Nigeria. So Nigeria government want to do everything possible to make sure that Trump doesn't talk about that. Now, in October, Trump redesignated Nigeria as a country of particular concern in response to the allegations of a Christian genocide in the country. The Nigerian government had repeatedly denied the Christian genocide claims, blaming the separatist group Indigenous People of Biafra (IPOB) and promised to engage with the US government. Now, Nigeria has always denied, saying that there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. And not only that, they went ahead to say that it is IPOB that is causing this mayhem. It is IPOB that is going to tell Trump that there is a Christian genocide in Nigeria. It is IPOB that is still causing the mayhem happening in Nigeria. That is what the Nigerian government is saying. Of course, after this, I'm going to play a video for you where the special advisor to the president came on national television. In fact, he went on an international news and said that it is a group called IPOB. I'm going to play the video for you. Please, just stay with me. This one is almost over. It says, in November, US President Donald Trump had threatened to go into Nigeria, guns ablazing, to wipe out the terrorists killing our cherished Christians. After some US politicians repeatedly claimed that there was a genocide against Christians in the West African nation. Now, because Trump said that he's coming to Nigeria, gun ablazing, and so Nigerian government is doing everything within their power to make sure that Trump does not come. Now, there is terrorists in Nigeria, and to them, or to some of the Nigerian government, they believe that IPOB is the problem. Why don't you allow Trump to come and wipe those that are the problem? Why? Now, my question in this video is this. You watching this video, do you believe that there is a Christian genocide in Nigeria? Or do you believe that IPOB is the major problem that Nigeria is facing? Do well to drop your comment in the comment section. Now, I'm going to play a video for you. And this video entails where the special advisor to the president came on national television saying that IPOB has destroyed Nigeria. That IPOB don't Nigeria. That IPOB is doing everything within their power to make sure that Nigeria goes down. And that was why I told you earlier that this man is trying to do anything to make sure that whatever this man's government is doing does not get to the hearing of this man. I don't know why. Please listen to the special advisor.
This is a pure case of agenda, and it has IPOB backing. That since IPOB and its leaders are followers of Jewish or Judaism religion in the East, white clothing Christian religionists and their churches somewhere in the Southeast, that they classify this IPOB because they look like they are Jewish people, and that is why they are killing them in the Southeast. He said, nowhere, like I told you in this report, where he will say he admits of the fact that there is any killing in the Southeast and that the killing was perpetrated by the IPOB or Eastern Security Network. This is the only report the senator relied on.
How damaging is Senator Ted Cruz's position? He's not only saying it, he's moved it as a movement of law for an act of parliament in the United States.
First of all, Senator Ted Cruz is having a declining popularity in the US. Because of some of the extreme positions he has taken in favor of APAC, which the MAGA base are not happy with him. People like Tucker Carlson, Candy Owens, there are quite a number of them who are not comfortable. So in a bid to revive his ailing political career, he decided to choose people of like minds to do that. But let me not push far in that regard and focus on the germane issue of substance. Senator Ted Cruz published on his official Twitter page allegation against the government of Nigeria. And if you look at that, you will see he said there is a genocide, there is a killing of Christians in Nigeria, to which public officials are either complicit or they are participating in it. In other words, he's trying to say that there is a genocide and the genocide is perpetrated by Nigeria government. Now, genocide, if you look at the very concept and definition of genocide, you know that it has to be a state orchestrated thing, or even if it is non-state actors, it has to be established. The second thing is talk about the participation of the government of Nigeria. He knows it is false, but let me tell you where the story is coming.
Maybe he doesn't know.
Let me tell you, the reason is because almost all of them base that position that they said on this report. This report was written by inter-society civil liberty and rule of law. They call it International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law. it is founded in Nigeria and it is somewhere in Onitsha. Most of the references they made were in this report. Now, if you look at this report, which was first published in August, and then they updated it last month, September, you will know that this is a pure case of agenda, and it has IPOB backing. This report can be seen on their website, Inter Society Civil Liberties and the Rule of Law. Now, they gave what they call to be a report of killings in Nigeria. They said they got their sources from multiple places. They also said they relied on their previous archive in reaching the conclusion. If you look at the entire report, 70% of the cases of killing that they are referring to happened in 2015, 2016, and I think 2018. The reference they made to the killings in 2025, they said the report, they got them from Sahara reporters, they got it from one civil society, and they got it from what they call open source. Almost all of the things that they were published, they were based on hearsay. Now, if you're writing a report, the little I know about people who understand what research is, you have to go to the root of the source. You have to verify the point. Nowhere in this report has he established one fact that this report stemmed from a research by their organization. Needless talking about the people who fund this particular organization. But do you know one intriguing thing about this report? He has analyzed every killings in Nigeria. There is one killing that he refused to acknowledge. And in fact, he even said that all of the killings of priests, the citizens of the southern eastern Nigeria, he said they were perpetrated by the Nigerian security forces, Nigerian captain, and Nigerian intelligence officers in the pretext of fight against IPOB. Then in that report, he came to that very, very important point here, where he said all of these have seen reckless whatever, and that the premise for which there is false labeling, mass criminalization, class stigmatization, and here's a conclusion, is premised on two things. Number one, that since IPOB and its leaders are followers of Jewish or Judaism religion in the East, white clothing Christian religionists and their churches somewhere in the Southeast, that they classify this IPOB because they look like they are Jewish people, and that is why they are killing them in the Southeast. He said, nowhere, like I told you in this report, where he will say he admits of the fact that there is any killing in the Southeast and that the killing was perpetrated by the IPOB or Eastern Security Network. This is the only report the senator relied on. Meanwhile, there have been reports by Human Rights Watch, a report by Amnesty International, United States Institute of Peace, and all other allied reports on insecurity in Nigeria. Not a single one reference any form of insecurity as religiously based killings.
So there is a concern though, because where the fire is originating from, it does look like it's Nigerians who have instigated this, and there are those who say they have directly been impacted by the killings in Nigeria. Right. For example, July this year, some Nigerians, some of them who are from Benue State, they had a protest press conference in Washington DC, and now we're even hearing that Marco Rubio is supporting this move, and they said that there is a genocidal attack in their land. Some of these people, and I would say after the Yawata attack, those who have risen up to say it does look like a coordinated attack against Christians, because most of the people that were attacked, churches were attacked, the people that were attacked, most of them are Christian. That it looks like a coordinated attack. Nigerians in the United States seem to have fueled or instigated it. So there are three things you mentioned here. Number one.
Oh yes, you all have heard everything and have seen everything the way it is. Now, imagine the country we are living into, the kind of money the Nigerian government paid the US lobbies for them to convince the US president, Donald Trump. It is very shameful. And coming down to the minister of this Nigerian minister, according to he's the person that knows the type of a minister he is. So how come, meaning that all those things that is happening in Nigeria, it does not concern them? The buying of people, the burning of people's house, the destruction of life and other things, according to them, Nigeria is okay. Nothing is happening in Nigeria. If not that it is the report that Nnamdi Kanu report about what is going on in Nigeria, the government of Nigeria, they would have been claiming that nothing is going on in Nigeria. That is why they are paying this huge amount, and they are claiming IPOB. Is it IPOB that that went to Borno, Sokoto, Benue, Taraba, and Katsina, Kaduna, and other places, and be giving reports about what is happening in Nigeria. Sometimes people, they will not even speak in a direct way. They will be going corner corner, be talking what is not right. Imagine this type of a man saying something like this, claiming that is IPOB, uh, that is pushing Donald Trump to send his army into Nigeria. That is why they are dying. That is why they are, in fact, they are claiming all those things. Well, it is left for them. What he says is that kudos to Donald Trump that has already wake up to fight for the Christians and to stand for the Christian in Nigeria. Well, I would like you to like, subscribe, and share the video go around. Let others see things happening in the country. And thank you for watching.